The truth that shattered Hollywood's carefully constructed facade came from the lips of one of its biggest heartthrobs in his most candid moment ever. Tab Hunter, the blonde, blue-eyed leading man who drove millions of women wild in the 1950s and 60s, finally broke his decades of silence about the secret relationships that defined his private life while his public image remained that of the ultimate heterosexual movie star. In a world where careers could be destroyed overnight by whispers of homosexuality, Hunter and his contemporaries lived double lives that required elaborate deceptions.
Tab Hunter was born as Arthur Andrew Kelm on July 11, 1931.
Fake romances, and the constant fear of exposure. But when the Golden Age icon decided to tell his truth, the names and stories he revealed would expose the hidden reality of old Hollywood's gay community, and the extraordinary length stars went to protect both their careers and their hearts. Tab Hunter's decision to speak openly about his homosexuality came relatively late in his life, when the former teen idol was in his 80s and the Hollywood studio system that had controlled every aspect of his existence had long since crumbled. Born Arthur Kelm in 1931, Hunter became one of the biggest box office draws of the 1950s.
With handsome newcomer Tab Hunter, a broad-shouldered young giant certain to zoom to the heights of stardom.
Despite harboring a secret that would have ended his career instantly if discovered by studio executives or the general public. The actor's rise to fame began in the early 1950s when talent scout Dick Clayton discovered him at a Hollywood stable where Hunter was working with horses. Warner Brothers quickly signed the handsome young man and transformed him into Tab Hunter, a name designed to appeal to teenage girls who would become his most devoted fans. His breakthrough role in Battle Cry, 1955, established him as a major star, leading to a string of successful films and a recording career that produced hit songs like Young Love. Throughout his peak years of fame, Hunter maintained the carefully crafted image of an available bachelor who dated some of Hollywood's most beautiful women. Studio publicity departments arranged dates with starlets like Natalie Wood, Debbie Reynolds, and Venetia Stevenson, creating a public romantic history that satisfied fan magazines and gossip columnists while protecting Hunter's true identity. The reality of Hunter's private life was dramatically different from his public persona.
Tab Hunter left an unforgettable mark on the annals of film history.
In his 2005 autobiography, Tab Hunter Confidential, and subsequent interviews, Hunter revealed the complex web of relationships and friendships that sustained him during the height of his fame. The book provided unprecedented insights into the hidden gay community that existed within Hollywood's golden age, though Hunter was careful to respect the privacy of individuals who had not chosen to reveal their own sexuality publicly. One of the most significant relationships Hunter discussed was his romance with actor Anthony Perkins, who would later achieve fame as Norman Bates in Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho. Hunter and Perkins met in the mid-1950s and began a relationship that lasted several years, despite the enormous risks involved for both of their careers. Their romance required elaborate secrecy, with the two actors careful never to be seen together in public in ways that might suggest anything beyond friendship. The relationship between Hunter and Perkins was complicated by the pressures of maintaining their heterosexual public images while navigating genuine feelings for each other. Both men were required by their studios to date women publicly, attend premieres with female companions, and participate in publicity stunts designed to reinforce their appeal to female fans. The emotional toll of living such divided lives affected both actors throughout their careers. Hunter's revelations about the gay community in old Hollywood extended beyond his personal relationships to describe a network of actors, directors, writers, and other industry professionals who found ways to connect and support each other despite the hostile environment they faced. Private parties in secluded homes, coded language in public conversations, and trusted intermediaries helped create a hidden social world that existed parallel to the public Hollywood scene. The actor described how certain restaurants, bars, and social clubs served as informal gathering places for gay men in the entertainment industry, though even these spaces required constant vigilance against exposure or blackmail. The fear of discovery was so pervasive that many relationships remained casual or secretive, as deeper emotional connections created additional vulnerabilities that could be exploited by gossip columnists, studio executives, or opportunistic individuals seeking to profit from scandal. Hunter's accounts revealed the sophisticated systems that developed to protect gay actors from exposure, including arranged marriages, fake romances, and public relations campaigns designed to create convincing heterosexual narratives. Some actors entered into marriages of convenience with lesbian actresses, creating mutually beneficial arrangements that protected both parties while satisfying public expectations about their personal lives. The impact of the Hollywood production code and the broader social attitudes of the 1950s created an environment where homosexuality was not only career-ending but potentially illegal in many circumstances.
The pressures of the big Hollywood studios made Tab Hunter, and in the end,
the threat of arrest, scandal, and professional destruction forced gay actors to develop elaborate coping mechanisms and support systems that remained largely hidden from public view for decades. Hunter's willingness to discuss these relationships and experiences provided valuable historical documentation of a period when LGBTQ+ individuals in entertainment faced extraordinary challenges and discrimination. His candor helped illuminate the human cost of the closet system that dominated Hollywood for decades and contributed to broader understanding of how social prejudice shaped the entertainment industry. The actor's revelations also highlighted the generational differences in attitudes towards sexuality and privacy, as Hunter noted that many of his contemporaries took their secrets to their graves rather than risk the potential consequences of public disclosure. The decision to speak openly about his experiences represented a significant departure from the silence that had characterized his generation's approach to these issues. Hunter's accounts of his relationships with other actors included descriptions of the emotional challenges faced by men who were forced to suppress fundamental aspects of their identity in order to maintain their careers. The psychological stress of constant deception, the inability to form open romantic relationships, and the fear of exposure created mental health challenges that affected many performers throughout their lives. The broader implications of Hunter's revelations extended beyond individual relationships to illuminate the systematic discrimination and prejudice that shaped Hollywood's treatment of LGBTQ+ individuals for decades. His accounts provided evidence of how studio systems actively worked to suppress any hint of homosexuality among their contracted performers, using everything from morality clauses to surveillance and intimidation to maintain control. The historical significance of Hunter's decision to speak openly about his experiences cannot be overstated, as his accounts provided some of the first detailed, first-hand documentation of gay life in Golden Age Hollywood. Previous accounts had relied heavily on speculation, rumor, and indirect evidence, making Hunter's direct testimony particularly valuable for historians and researchers studying this period. The evolution of social attitudes toward homosexuality that occurred during Hunter's lifetime allowed him to speak openly about experiences that would have been unthinkable to discuss during his peak years of fame. The contrast between the repressive environment of the 1950s and the more accepting attitudes of the 21st century provided context for understanding both the courage required to live authentically during earlier periods and the progress achieved through decades of activism and social change. Hunter's revelations also addressed the ongoing impact of closeted life on his career choices and personal relationships throughout his later years. The habit of secrecy and the emotional patterns developed during decades of hiding fundamental aspects of his identity created lasting effects that influenced his approach to relationships and public life long after the immediate career threats had diminished. The actor's accounts included recognition of the privilege and protection that his success and wealth provided compared to other gay men of his era who lacked similar resources and support systems. Hunter acknowledged that his celebrity status and financial security allowed him options and protections that were unavailable to most LGBTQ+ individuals facing similar challenges during the same period. The documentation provided by Hunter's revelations contributed to broader scholarly and popular understanding of how social prejudice and institutional discrimination affected creative industries during the mid-20th century. His accounts provided concrete examples of how talented individuals were forced to compromise their authentic selves in order to participate in mainstream entertainment and cultural production. Looking back on his decisions to maintain secrecy for most of his career, Hunter expressed both understanding for the circumstances that required such choices and regret for the opportunities and relationships that were lost or compromised as a result. His reflections provided insights into the long-term psychological and emotional costs of living in the closet, even for individuals who achieved significant professional success. The legacy of Hunter's revelations extends beyond their historical value to include their contribution to ongoing conversations about authenticity, identity, and the relationship between public and private life in the entertainment industry. His willingness to speak openly helped create space for other actors and entertainers to share their own experiences and contributed to broader cultural shifts toward acceptance and inclusion. If you're as moved by these revelations about Hollywood's hidden history as we are, go ahead and like this video. Drop your thoughts in the comments. How do you think the entertainment industry has changed regarding LGBTQ+ acceptance? What surprised you most about the challenges faced by gay actors in old Hollywood? We want to hear your perspective on how courage and authenticity can change entire industries. Then, hit subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss our coverage of the untold stories and hidden histories that shaped the entertainment world we know today. Thanks for watching.